Friends, I bought a vacation home and it's on wheels. Okay, I really don't know what I got myself into with this project, but we're about to find out together. Friends, welcome to my vacation home. It is a 2000 Coachman. It is a 30-foot RV. It has 60,000 miles on it, and it needs a lot of work. In real estate terms, it is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, sort of, with an eating kitchen, a living space, dining space that doubles as a living space and also eating kitchen. It's open concept, and also has a bonus loft above the driver's seat. So I have always wanted to purchase an RV or a camper to renovate. Chris and I travel a lot for his cycling races, and we're always spending a ton of money on hotels, and I thought it might be fun to actually have a traveling hotel that we can take with us instead of having to find places to stay every time we travel for his races. Mechanically, mostly, it's pretty good. There are a couple things that need to be done mechanically, but luckily my dad is a mechanic. He actually restores classic cars as his side hustle, and he's like so stoked to help me with this project, so I'm gonna take all the help that I can get. In fact, he's actually coming over later today to help me start demoing the RV so we can get a move on this project, and I'm really excited about it. In terms of the work it needs work. There are some spots where there used to be some active leaks that need to be patched up. Cosmetically, it needs a lot of love. The last owner, his goal was to flip the RV, and he started renovating but never finished. But for us, we're just gonna start fresh in this space and see what we can do. I've never renovated an RV before, so I have no idea what I'm in for, but I guess we're about to go on this adventure together. Pun definitely intended. This is gonna be an interesting one, and I'm really excited, but also kind of nervous to see how it shapes up. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do, and race season is coming, so let's get started.
I'm done.
Nice job. Did great. All right, so quick spoiler alert, this project did not go as planned, so don't get too excited about it yet. Here's the deal. I picked this thing up for $3,000. It needed a ton of work, but I vastly underestimated exactly how much work it needed, and we'll talk about that a little later in the video. But first step was really just demoing this thing. So Dad and I took a day on a weekend to, demo, and we uncovered a whole bunch of stuff ranging from really fun to really not so fun. I'm like doing the small stuff, and this dude is just full-blown demoing. We didn't agree to this. Welcome to Demoing with Sam and Joe. Oh my god.
The Chia Pet? The Grinch.
We could drive in the HOV lane now because we got a blow-up Grinch to put in our passenger seat. This is genius. 3.5 feet tall. He's almost as tall as me. Also fun little gift he left behind. A contour gauge. Is it wet? Oh man. Have we already bitten off more than we can chew? So short answer to that is yes, and we'll talk about that at the end of this video. But in the meantime, while Dad and I continue to demo this RV, let's take a moment to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Anker. Now, I've done a sponsorship with Anker before to talk about their 757 Powerhouse, and in all honesty, I really legitimately still love this thing as much as I did when I used it to rebuild my deck last summer, and I'm even more excited about it now as I'm beginning to plan these off-grid adventures and future trips because it's perfect for powering things up on the go. The Anker 757 is a portable powerhouse that uses premium lithium iron phosphate batteries, which can be recharged over 3,000 times. The LED display does an amazing job of telling you exactly how much power you have based on what you're plugging in, as well as how much time you have left until the battery is depleted. And even when it does run out of juice, it charges from 0 to 80% in only 1 hour, so you're never really left without power for too long. It also includes 13 different charging ports that accept different charging accessories, making it an easy go-to portable powerhouse for pretty much any charging device. In fact, as a side note, we had a blackout recently, and I was so happy to have our 757 Powerhouse available to us to charge up our phones and just make sure we had everything we needed for the day after, considering our power was out all night. And since it comes with a 5-year warranty, I'm actually excited to use this thing for years to come because I know that I'll just have a reliable power source for projects and adventures and future blackouts, because you know that those things happen. So if you're interested in powering up your summer, you can learn more about the Anker 757 Powerhouse by clicking on the link below this video. But now that we have this RV powered up, it is time to get back to finishing this demo. Now, at this point in the demo, that one area at the front of the RV was not enough to scare me away. So we continued to trek on, but I'm going to be pretty honest with you, as we continue to remove more things and more things and more things, it became very apparent that this was going to be a gigantic job that I'm not sure either one of us was ready for. So much room. But here's the thing, my dad and I are like really optimistic about pretty much everything, and sometimes that can be a fault, but at this point we were just kind of excited about the progress. Now, really, when it came time to demoing the floor and some of the major stuff, this is when we started to kind of uncover a few more issues that were out of our wheelhouse, but we kept on trekking and we kept on planning and we kept on trying to make it work. And although it only took us one day to demo this RV, we did have some brainstorming after that where we were able to assess some of the damage. And after a couple months of talking and planning and accepting our fate, here's where we landed. I don't even know where to begin with this one. This is gonna be an interesting outro. Hey friends, okay, it has been a while since I've been back in this RV for a couple reasons. So Dad and I demoed this thing, I wanna say like 2 months ago. And the reason we haven't been back is because we've been basically taking the past 2 months to decide if this project is worth it. And spoiler alert, we decided it's not. So this is weird for me because I typically like 99% of the time see a project through all the way through to like come to fruition from this big thing that, you know, I had in mind. This is kind of one of those projects where I had to sit down and be like, am I going to invest more money in this? And then is that money going to be worth it? Or am I going to pour money into this project? And then like, for what? What is the return? So here's the deal. We clearly demoed the whole space. It looks a lot better. It smells a lot better. It was smelling real stale in here. But in the demo process, we found a couple of pretty major things that we don't really have the bandwidth to do ourselves and we'd have to hire out for, which would be super expensive. So for instance, we found a huge leak at the front of the RV in the loft, and that is a problem because that means there are layers of moisture damage and that it needs to be relaminated and resealed and redone. And we already knew that parts of the outside of the RV were delaminating or pulling apart from the actual RV, but that has just gotten worse over the past 2 months. And again, that is something that we could invest in doing, but it is a huge job. So for like the fun of it, I decided to list this guy on Facebook Marketplace for what I paid for it, which was $3,000. And I had somebody offer me $3,250 for it. And really the only thing I've invested in at this point monetarily wise for this thing was a cap for the AC on the roof, and that was $25. So I'm about to profit $225 on this thing, just having it sitting in my driveway for the past few months. And I feel like I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna invest that in something a little newer. I don't know if that's gonna be another RV yet. I don't know if that's gonna be a camper van. I haven't really decided what that next step is, but it's gonna be something because like I mentioned earlier in the video, we travel a lot for Chris's races and we pay so much money on Airbnbs and rentals when we're traveling. And since we like to take the dogs and we'd like to travel as like one big happy crew, that can cost a lot of money and it tends to add up over time. And I'd rather invest that in something that we own. I'm not sure if it's an RV, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a camper van, but I am doing my research and there is gonna be something else on the channel. So while this project is a fail, well, is it really a fail if I'm making $225 off of it? I am going to do a better job of not just only doing my research on these things before I buy them, but also not letting my dad peer pressure me into buying one because he thinks it's not gonna be a lot of work and then ends up being a lot of work and then it's totally not worth all of the work that needs to be put into it. So anyway, that's the story. This was a learning experience. I'm glad we tried. I'm glad we did some research. I have watched so many videos on RV flips and camper van flips that I feel like I'm ready to tackle one that just needs a little less work, but I'm so excited to eventually invest in that project and bring it with you all and have you all come on that journey with me. So while there won't be any more of this specific camper RV content on my channel, there will be a ton of more projects coming up. I have a room makeover coming up. I have a puppy project coming up. I have more garage shop stuff coming up. It is going to be so busy. So please make sure to stay subscribed to the channel channel, click on that notification bell, and I will see you all soon with a new project, friends, that does not involve the letters R and V in them. But until then, friends, happy DIYing. Well, this was an adventure, like 3 out of 10. Not completely don't recommend.